Hey everybody, I'm back. I've got more comics from my spinner rack. Well, this was a book that came out in, I think, the first year of Image. For those not in the know, all two of you, Image was formed by the most popular artists at Marvel Comics at the time. They wanted more cash from their artwork being repurposed for t-shirts and merchandise and stuff like that, and so they did creator-owned stuff. I'm not sure most of the creator-owned stuff was that interesting. It sold well because of the hype, but you look at Cyberforce and there's nothing there. It's pretty pictures, and same with Wildcats and just about everything. And the only thing I really admire is Eric Larson, who has done every issue of Savage Dragon for over 250 issues, and then Todd McFarlane's done over 300 issues, although he hasn't drawn much beyond the first 3 years. But, they could easily cancel and go out with an issue one, the boost sales, but it's not. I mean, they're vanity projects, but, they're popular enough to keep selling, And, well, I'm going to jump right into this. Now, this was a gift to Jack Kirby for being so essential to creating all these characters in the Marvel Universe and the DC Universe, who kind of got, I don't want to say robbed, he kind of got ripped off, because all the most popular characters you see on the movie screen, he had a lot to do with the input, and in some cases all. Well, what they did is they took this is scraps, the last stuff that Kirby had done, pretty much. So they had all-star talent inking them. They had Rob Liefeld there. I would love to ink a Kirby book. And you got a little of everything going on. It's neat. I'm not going to go over, who inked what. So, yeah, this is good. It's a version. Jack Kirby came out with the Heroes and Villains pencil reproduction hardcover, and then they came out with a soft cover of top artist inking his those pieces. It's fun. I mean, the Kirby eyes, I always loved that. When Ditko took that off of Machine Man, I was kind of bummed. So, and this is by Todd McFarlane and Ginseng, such a corny nickname, Master of the Martial Arts. This was a totally separate concept he came up with. Thankfully, he got to work at Ruby Spears for a really good paycheck in the 80s. Better than he had with all the other stuff he had worked on before, until DC did something unimaginable. They took Darkseid and all the New God stuff and gave Kirby full credit, so the Kirby estate would make money off of any time those characters appear, and they became really popular. There's Jack Kirby and Jim Lee and Freak Force. I got my start on Freak Force 11. I was assisting Dave Johnson, who did that cover in 11, and so I do image that, definitely. So there's a list of everybody. It's fun, it's a lot of fun. But like I said, I mean, these other characters are just awful. Whoa! Now we go to Marvel Team Up. Beware, it's Assistant Editors Month. Don't say we didn't warn you. Well, all the editors went to San Diego for the convention, and it was somebody's idea to have all the assistant editors do cover the books for 1 month, and given the lease or given the go ahead to do whatever they want, and not a hoax, not a what if, not an imaginary story. What's going on here? It's supposed to be my comic, Aunt May and Franklin Richards. So some of the books, like there was an issue of New Mutants, I think 11 or 12, that had an ongoing story by Chris Claremont that had nothing to do with this as an editor's month and maybe the letters page. Written by Mike Carlin, soon to be supreme editor at DC. Greg LaRocque, penciler. Mike Esposito. And it turns out that Nova, the one that used to be Frankie Ray, who was a herald of Terrax, came back to Galactus because she was wounded because this one planet he was going to devour, they decided to blow themselves up rather than give Galactus, to have him satiated and continue. So Galactus hungers, as he always says. At this point, Pete and MJ had broken up, but they remained friends. And there is Aunt May, and happily be sitting next to Franklin Richards of the Fantastic Four. I love the Thing. Such a great character. And what I like there is that's a very, kid thing to stand up on a chair like that. And Sue's like, Franklin Richards, you sit down in that seat this instant. Oh, I love that. Leave? I don't want to leave. I ain't seen the poodles dressed up like people yet. Because they find out there's a problem in San Diego, of course. So, Aunt May, Spider-Man vouches for Aunt May to take care of Franklin. And so they head off. And I love this last panel. He says, strange, I can sense Richard's presence, but it grows ever fainter, as does my strength. Hey, Bullwinkle! Thanksgiving ain't for 2 months yet. Love that. That's such a perfect angle, too, to show one of those float-like poses. Well, she's happy to be with little kid again like she had been with Pete, kind of reliving the past. And then Galactus comes. He is here. I feel him. And of course, he doesn't stand on anything. He likes to float a touch. Galactus has come for Harold. Galactus has come for you. Run, Franklin. See what you did, you big bully. You scared this little boy. Why don't you pick on someone your own size? Please, aged one. I am weak. I have need for Harold. Well, that hardly concerns us now, does it? I can sense the boy's power, greater than even his parents. I can help them to realize the full potential of his power. And, no, he's going to hurt me. But in the way stands Aunt May, and she becomes Golden Oldie. And Galactus is hungry again. Time grows short, Oldie, and my needs persist. You must seek out suitable nourishment, for Galactus hungers. Wait up, if Galactus is hungry, why don't we give him this pack of Twinkles? They're my favorite. So this is a nod to all the Twinkie ads that came out between 75 and 80. So that they actually made a book collection of these. So he hands it to him, and it's in fact, it should be smaller there, but I guess they just wanted to show it. This morsel is useless to me. I ingest it, and its effect is nothing. Hold. I'm mistaken. There are energies within a morsel that replenish my hungering system. Harold, there must be more. So he gets a case of them. I must have them, boy. Give them here. Okay. Harold, my powers begin to return. Find me more substance. So she stops over at the house that she rents out and freaks out Nathan, her boyfriend at the time. She goes around the world. I need all your Twinkles. Twinkles, por favor. Do you have any Twinkles? Thanks for the Twinkles. Can you spare any Twinkles? Das Twinkles. I love that. Oh, by the way, this guy Moltar, isn't that the same guy? I mean, it's in Crystal Warrior, the cartoon or whatever it was. Isn't that the same guy that the Avengers fought in issue 5 when they had the Molten Men? And wasn't there a character named Moltar? But he looked so much like him. So just a thought, throwing it out there. Please leave a comment below. Let me know. Okay. So she goes out to this one planet that's like one giant twinkle. Galactus will be pleased. I must signal him to come. And, well, here comes the creator of it. He goes, don't toy with me. Everyone in this sector knows of my planets. They may ridicule me, but they know of my planets. But I do not. It's not a donut. It's a moist... yank. It's a moist, light sponge planet with creaming white filling. And my people banished me for hearsay. They thought I was just baking donuts too. I am a creator. I create these worlds. They're not just snacks. But I am come. Master, I found the perfect planet. I have prayed for your coming, O Lord. Down here. So if I be so bold as to make a suggestion to Galactus. Why not take on the doughy boy as your herald? You'll never have to be forced to ravage existing worlds. Yeah, I can whip up an endless supply of cream-filled planets. It would be an honor to serve you. There's certain logic to your words. Very well, it shall be done. What about my powers? This is like a takeoff on this image when Galactus destroyed, I think, the Skrull world for a time. I say for a time. It came back just because it's comics. Well, everything goes back to normal. I hate to bother you guys again. Anyone got a glass of milk? Just then in Peter Parker's apartment. Oh, thank goodness it was only a dream. That settles it, P.O. boy. No late nights twinkle breaks right before bed. It was a pretty horrible nightmare. Imagine kindly sweet old Aunt May, Galactus' herald. What a hoot. Or is it? She kind of did all right by him. At the same time, editor Danny Fingerroth's San Diego hotel room. Thank goodness it was only a dream. For seconds there, I thought my assistant Bob Dennis screwed up Marvel Team Up 137, and just down the hall, in Editor-Chief Jim Shooter's room. Oh, thank goodness it was only a dream, Garfy Poo. This trip to the San Diego Comics Convention with all of Marvel's editors got me so excited I can't sleep. So, and in the publisher Stan Lee's home, oh, thank goodness it was only a dream. Any true believer knows Galactus doesn't drink milk. Such a great issue. So fun. Fun, baby, fun. There's another Spider-Man book, Peter Parker, where Fred Hembeck does all the art. I'm going to have to cover that too. Well, Mr. Miracle came back. It only lasted 18 issues, actually, which is pretty long for Jack Kirby's early 70s DC work. He did 18 issues of Mr. Miracle, but Commandy lasted like 40 issues, but the last 10 was done by somebody else. He had already gone back to Marvel. This is Marshall Rogers, early Marshall Rogers. And I always love that garish costume. In fact, hold on a second. Okay, talk among yourselves. I got this back in the mid-2000s, and I love it. They came out with these Kirby Anatomy action figures, and I just love it. So I can't find the other ones at the moment, but I'm glad I had that at the ready. So here comes Mr. Miracle. The issue 19 was the following issue, and it came out years later when it was like 76. When Kirby went to Marvel, they rehashed all his old titles, I guess to get competition or out of spite or something, because they also had New Gods, which was awful, and despite the great Don Newton art. So Eclipse. I'm wondering if Marshall Rogers drew that, because that's very much in the vein of what he does. I mean, John Workman does. Oh, John Workman. Okay, that could be it too. Early John Workman, as far as I know. Look out! And what's funny is Vinnie Coletta, he actually does a pretty good job because of the pencils are so tight. You know, there's no room for erasure. Love that. Zip tone. That's definitely something Rogers would do after the inks came in. And My Birthright. And if I had my choice, and I'm not sure yet, I think this would be the only maybe canon that holds up to Kirby's, but I may be completely wrong. So there's another Twinkies ad. See. And this fake Mr. Miracle is beating the shit out of Big Barda. So when he disappears, she thinks she's fighting this artificial one. Oh, I gotta see if I find that page. It's really cute. Well, the thing with Kirby was his way of doing Mr. Miracle's powers or his escapes always had to do with an explosion, like something shot under his feet or whatever. But with this Mr. Miracle, he had a lot of different tricks that you would see like an Earthbound person use. But I can't show it. It's previous issue, I guess. I don't have. So I love that costume. And it was originally supposed to be purple and red, and the color screwed up, but I kind of dig it. So there, Barda and Miracle are fighting because she's possessed. That she believes he's a fake and he's trying to keep himself alive. He takes her down, although I question that because Big Barda is like super strong and he has like regular strength. So anyway, never mind. I'm going off on a tangent. I'm really good at that. So this looks like maybe Buckler and Giacoya on the Inhumans. I really like the Inhumans. It only lasted 12 issues. And it was another, so you got 25 cents. It's fixing to be 30 cents. So the book made it all the way to issue 12, which was kind of shocking. I know this is inked by Frank Giacoya, or it could be Keith Pollard or Buckler. Don't know. And, Gil Kane's one of the great artists on this book. You had George Perez start out, and then you had Gil Kane, and then Keith Pollard, and George Perez even came back for an issue. So what happened is the Great Refuge has been overtaken by Maximum the Mad, who is Black Bolt's brother, and so he can endure no more. So he starts to scream, and Black Bolt has his power that even if he whispers, he can blow mountains away. He's just got, although it's interesting about him. A little bit of yada yada, a little too much of that stuff. And flashback, that's okay. But he's tearing apart Attilian, which is also called the Great Refuge. And then, so this is how it ends. All of Attilian, entire Great Refuge destroyed by a single instant of weakness. So Medusa says, keep your big mouth shut. Black Bolt disappears in there. You sicken me. You ever hear the Morrison song called what is it called? It's Tell Me If I've Said this before, and he goes, I'm so sickened. That's all I can think of now when I see that. And Black Bolt comes out with this long, I'm sorry everybody, I done fucked up. Ooh, I gotta cut that out. I never did get all the Marvel value stamps because I didn't buy all the Marvel books. And, it is kind of a blah, blah, blah thing, but at the time, it was melodramatic. Marvel was in the business of doing melodrama. And I guess as a kid, it appealed to me. I thought it was kind of wild that they would overreact to stuff. How about that? Has Karnak ever looked any cooler than that? And this is a swipe from a Kirby panel, but still pretty cool. I've always loved the costumes, too. Here we go. Some great Gil Kane. Ass kickery. So, anyway. And then finally, it's a shiny cover. $2.95, but I got it for $1. So, Sal Buscema was still at the helm. He did issue 137 through 216 or something like that, and he was inking himself, and he changed his style a bit. He did that kind of stuff. He did more, I don't know what you'd call it, more harsh shadows. That's really nice. If I told you how Sal Buscema, would you believe it? Because he was trying to keep up with everybody else. He was, he knew the. There we go. And this is not Norman Osborn, but son Harry Osborn, who was Pete's roommate, and through the 70s. What happened was a lot of times he would have a he would snap back into the Green Goblin's personality, much like his father did. Like all the Green Goblin stories always ended with the Green Goblin getting clarity and knowing who they are in real life, and he separated. And that got so effing boring. It was like a Green Goblin appeared in like an Amazing Spider-Man that I think Len Wein wrote with Ross Andrew drew, and sure enough, at the end, he turned back to Harry Osborn, and I'm like, oh, that's so exhausting and pointless. And there you got the that hair is so funny because it's like a horizontal cornrows. It's so weird. And Ditko sort of did that for effect, and it's one of those things where a lot of comics kept characters on model, which is why the Hulk had purple pants for 20 plus years, maybe 30, and I always thought that was ridiculous. They could have had him in blue jeans, but nope. So get away from my wife, yahoo! Classic Sal Buscema clobber. Night was so pretty. I just kept walking. And the thing is, the way they treated him, it's almost like the sounds of the air brake on a bus would switch him back into the Green Goblin. He's like, "Hey, Peter, how's it going, pal?" I'll kill you. So it's but this is a really good story. It actually really, really is. Gary Conway did the early issues, but this was by oh, come on, man. By J.M. DeMatteis, and if I say his name wrong, I apologize. He wrote like a couple of years of the last issues, the last Sal issues before the godforsaken clone story. So this is good stuff. I really recommend issue 137 through 216. They're cheap, and the great stories told in the mighty Marvel manner. Anyway, I will talk to you soon. If you like the content, you could support it by buying my novels, The Demands, Book 1, Book 2, and Book 3. You don't have to read them. If you could use them as a coaster for your, a can of Coke, or you could, if you have a crooked table in the house, you could use that too. I don't care. So, by the way, this is not written like a comic book. There's a lot of cursing, a lot of ugly shit that goes on. I wouldn't write a comic book like this, but a novel I would. So, anyway, hope you're having a good day. And that is it to all my friends. Bye.